Hi, second grade friends. I'm back again with this time with our math lesson today. Today we're going to be talking about base 10 blocks and how we use them. Now, all my base 10 blocks are at school, so I'm going to have to just draw mine on my board. So I'm not an art teacher, so bear with me as we go through this, okay? All right, here we go. Let's get started. Okay, friends, as I mentioned before, I said that we're going to be talking about base 10 blocks. Say that with me. Base 10 blocks. I have three things drawn on my board for us today. I have a big square. My big square is going to represent 100. Okay? My big square is going to represent 100. Now, I have a rectangle, a long rectangle, and my rectangle is going to be worth 10. And then you see these here? That's each individual cube. That's going to be worth 1. All right, friends, let's get started. Now, keep these in mind as we're going today. All right, I'm going to draw some things on my board here. Remember that this is worth 100. This is worth 10 because there's 10 little squares in here. And this is worth 1. All right, so if I would draw something here, I'm going to draw... How much is that worth? You're right, that's worth 100. And then I'm going to draw a couple of these here, so let's see. Okay, friends. Now, here's my picture. Let's get rid of that. I drew you a picture, and these are base 10 blocks. Remember, this is worth 100, this is worth 10, and these are worth 1. So let's see. How much is this worth? You're right, there's a 1. How much is this worth? A 1. Okay. How much is this worth? Yes, you're right, this is worth 10. And this is worth another 10. And this is worth how many? 100. Exactly. Okay. So now I need to find out the total number that I have here represented by these base 10 blocks. Well, what do you think I'm going to do? I'm going to have to add them all up, aren't I? Well, how many hundreds do I have? How many hundreds? You're right, I have 100. And how many tens do I have? You are right, I have 2. Okay. And how many ones do I have? You're right, I have 2. So if I were to add all of these up, my number would be 122, because I can do that. Here's 100, here's 110, here's 120, 121, and 122. Now, let's try another one. Okay, here we go. Now, you'll be thinking, as I am drawing my shapes out. Those are the big ones. All right, here we go. Okay, friends. Now, let's look at this a different way. How many of these little teeny tiny ones would I need to make one of these? Oops. Because I know that this is worth 10. I know that these are worth 10. And how much is this worth? These are worth 1. So how many little ones would I need to trade for a big one? You're right, I would need 10, wouldn't I? So let's see, how many do I have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, so I can trade all of my little ones, and I can trade these in. I can trade all those because I know that each one of those is 1 and 1 10. So I can add in another 10 up here. So I can trade that in. So now let's see. Can I write my number now? Well, I can. How many hundreds do I have? You're right, I have 3. How many tens do I have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And how many ones do I have left now? 0. So what is my number that's represented here by this? You're right, I have 350. Very good work, friends. I'm going to give you another one more to see before we move on. If you can figure out this. Okay, here we go. Let me draw it out for you. Oops, let me close that bottom there. Okay, let's see. Can you come up with my number? Think on your own. Okay. All right, how many hundreds blocks do I have? You're right, I have 4. How many tens blocks do I have? You're right, I have 4, but that's not just 4. That means that I have 40 because each one of these are worth 10. Okay, and how many ones do I have? You're right, I have 2. So my number is 440 because I have 4 of them and they're worth 10 each. So that means 40 and I have 2. Very good job today, friends. I hoped that helped you with knowing your base 10 blocks. Remember, there are how many little ones? Each of the little one represents 1. Okay, and in the tens, the long rectangular ones, there's 10 in that one. And then the big ones, there's 100 in there, isn't there? Yes, and that's right. If you have 10 ones, you can switch it out for a 10. And if I had, how many would I have to have of the tens to switch out to be 100? I want you to think about that as today for yours, and I will come back tomorrow and I'll let you know. Until next time, friends, bye.